Okay, we just spoke earlier about Jesus being loyal to Moses. What are we going to do now?
Well, let's follow that up and do it again, because another story that people say Jesus overruled the law of Moses is when he touched a leper to heal him. All right, so we find that in Matthew chapter 8. This is just after the transfiguration. In fact, Matthew 8 verse 2, behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be clean. And immediately the leprosy was cleansed.
Sounds like a miracle.
Well, it's a miracle, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, though, that the law of Moses says you're not allowed to touch a leper because that makes you unclean. So as a sacrifice, if Jesus became unclean at any point, he would be no good as a perfect sacrifice. He'd be no longer the spotless lamb. So Leviticus 5 is the law that we refer to there. Leviticus 5 verses 2 and 3. If you'd like to read that in Hebrew, it'd be great.
או נפש אשר תיגע בכל דבר טמא, או בנבלת חיה טמאה, או בנבלת בהמה טמאה, או בנבלת שרץ טמא, ונעלם ממנו והוא טמא ואשם. או כי ייגע בטומאת אדם לכל טומאתו אשר יטמא בה, ונעלם ממנו והוא ידע ואשם. Yeah, it means every, wouldn't say even every nefesh, it's like every mind or every, it's not person, you know, it's more
anything.
Of anything.
Anything, yeah.
It's not a thing even, it's just,
so if
it's a condescending culture, it's not condescending, it's it's like mind, soul.
Okay.
Yeah, it's every soul that would touch anything that is unpure, or any dead animal that's unpure, or any like any kind of animals. They described 3 kind of animals, which is like an animal, a cattle, or sherets, which is just like it's really.
Although King James says creeping thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just creeping. Yeah.
So basically, if you touch any dead thing or any unclean thing, if you touch it, you become unclean. And in fact, definitely. Again in the King James, it says you become guilty.
Unclean, impure, and guilty.
Yeah. Definitely. So Jesus touched a leper.
Yeah.
A leper is unclean.
It's also relevant for people.
Yeah.
By the way. Yeah. And if you know it.
Yeah.
And you're guilty.
When you find out you're guilty.
Yeah.
So Jesus knew he was a leper.
Yeah.
He knew the law of Moses said you're not allowed to touch a leper.
Yeah.
But he touched him.
Yes.
And people try and get around this because they don't understand the whole of the law. They go, well, maybe he was healed before he touched him. Right? So Jesus wouldn't go, oh, you're healed, and then he touched him. But that's not what the text says. The text says that he touched him and then he was healed.
Yeah.
So there can't be a discrepancy. There must be truth in there somewhere. And to do that, we go to the book of Luke, because Luke was a doctor and Luke loves giving details. Right? So Matthew just simply says the guy was a leper.
Yeah.
Right? Luke goes a little bit further. In Luke 5, chapter 12, it says, it came to pass when he was in a certain city, a man full of leprosy, who seeing Jesus fell on his face and asked him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. Right? Yeah. What's the emphasis there is on the man full of leprosy. So head off to Leviticus 13, if you can find that for us.
I can.
Because that then explains what Jesus did and why.
We go to 13 from the beginning?
No, verse 12.
Verse 12.
12 and 13 is way. Chapter 13, verses 12 and 13. Yeah.
Okay. ואם פרוח תפרח הצרעת באור, וכיסתה הצרעת את כל אור הנגע, מראשו ועד רגליו לכל מראה עיני הכהן. וראה הכהן, והנה כיסתה הצרעת את כל בשרו, וטיהר את הנגע. כולו הפך לבן, טהור הוא. What happens here is that a person with leprosy, that has leprosy, and his entire body is filled with leprosy. Kol kulo, it means everything. Of him. Yeah, it's filled with leprosy. He was brought to a kohen, so a priest, a Jewish priest, a kohen. Okay, and then the kohen looked at it and he pured it. He didn't touch anything. He just pured the infection, and the person became white and pure.
Okay. So he goes to the priest, and the priest pronounces him clean.
Yeah.
right?
Not pronounced as unclean. I'd say he just he purified it. It don't say he pronounced it. He just purified it. He cleaned it.
He is clean. So does he still have leprosy?
No,
Well, he does,
he does.
but he's full of leprosy.
He was full of leprosy, and then he became white.
So he's still a leper, but he's become white.
Yeah. It was pure. It became pure.
So this is where Luke says, in Matthew, it just says a man that had leprosy came to Jesus.
Yeah.
What Luke says is the man full of leprosy.
Yeah.
So is he still unclean according to Leviticus 13?
No.
No. So Jesus is perfectly able to touch him without breaking the law of Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people again use this and they go, Jesus overruled the law of Moses. You go, no. Jesus upheld the law of Moses. If he'd ever overruled the law of Moses, he would be no good for us as a sacrifice. So this is where digging deeper into the Bible and knowing our faith and knowing where it comes from helps us to understand it better.
Okay. That's interesting.